Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Don't hang around men who have problems with women. Don't hang around them. I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's a tendency for people, no matter how independent they think they are or how much a lone wolf they are, people tend to take on the energy of the people that they are around. That's why it's been a saying, especially in financial success circles. I believe it came from Robert Kiyosaki, the writer of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I believe. I'm not sure. It might have came from somebody else, but it's been floating around with it regardless. And it's, you can look at your 5 friends, and that's where your financial level is of your 5 friends, 5 closest friends. And one of the things is when we're around people, we tend to subconsciously want to fit in with that group. We subconsciously will take on like certain habits, whatever the group thing is. That's just human nature. So if you're hanging around people, or men in particular rather, if you're hanging around men who have problems with women, always complaining about women, always complaining how they're not getting women, that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. That can hurt you. Because, and this is something I've seen personally. I've been around like both groups, select, non-select, straight up players and womanizers and guys who would be good if a woman says hi to them. And it's just a different energy. It's a totally different energy. You got one group complaining. One group complain, oh, the women don't want me. Oh, they don't want a nice guy, anything like that. Meanwhile, the guys who are winning with the women, shoot, they sharing some serious stories. The only complaint they have is when the woman they dealing with start bringing some drama. And usually they just say, get rid of them. They don't talk about it long, And it ain't because they ain't pressed about the women. They just got so many, They just got so many. But they also have a positive attitude towards women. A lot of guys are messing up because, one, they've had bad experiences. Okay, we've all had bad experiences. But then they hanging around other guys with bad experiences. And they think this is just normal. They just complaining. And then it's going to mess you up. In fact, I've always said one of the best ways to really learn some game, to really pick up something, and I know this from personal experience, hang around guys who are doing well with women. Hang around them. Just hang around them. And it's not so much you're going to pick up their techniques, but your attitude is going to gradually change. And then you're going to see, as I always say, a lot of it's really down to mindset. As much as I promote body game, it's all about mindset. And that's really the secret of body game. It's about changing your mindset first, how you feel about yourself. If you like your own body, you're going to feel good about yourself, and that's going to translate to other areas of your life. But getting back to the main topic of today, if you hanging around guys and they always saying, well, the women this, women that, and you're around them, and all of a sudden you start thinking about, well, yeah, she did this, she did that. Okay, you're going to start picking up those attitudes and everything. But then if you're around some guys saying, man, yeah, this woman came over to my place, all she had on was a trench coat and some heels. That's going to start rubbing off on you. Because then when the guy's speaking about the trench coat and heels, they're talking about, a positive experience. Come on, who isn't that positive? A woman coming over to your house, is she ready to go? And then if you notice, even when they have a bad situation with a woman, they just like, yeah, man, they laughing about it usually. Yeah, man, she did this. They don't have no bitterness because there's one woman. They say, man, I just charged it to the game, man, called up my other girl. But that attitude and everything. And like I said, it's something bigger, like with money. I'll use the money example. Let me give you a little bit of money matters. I don't like hanging around broke people. If they show me some angle of being broke or something, I stay away from them. That's the worst thing. When I look at my circles, like the men and women that are always doing something with their lives, they're always moving forward. That's the important thing. They always moving forward. And I noticed that. And even some guys who would like kind of join the circle, all of a sudden they like, yeah, Ron, what can I do for a business or something like that? It's very important. You don't want to hang around. If you're making money, you definitely don't want to hang around broke people because you'll get that broke energy. But you hang around people who are making money. In fact, ideally, you be making the least amount of money. But it'll change it because just to be around that group. Let me get a little deep thought with that energy thing. Some people might say, oh, that's crazy. No, because when you're around somebody, you have to behave a certain way. You have to behave a certain way. And then they feeding you with certain ideas. You still taking them in whether you like it or not. And, you know, they talking positively and stuff. That's going to affect you. Now, if you're around some broke people, and stuff, you're going to get that broke energy. Because they're complaining, they're having trouble. Hell, if you even hanging around them, there might be a certain amount of laziness to them. No, I'm just going to say that certain amount of laziness. Nothing stopping a man from getting another job if he needs money or getting a certification or education to make more money. You know, it's a big difference. It's a big difference, trust me. And that's just the money thing. Getting back to just strictly the woman thing. If the guy's having trouble, you got to be like, nah, I don't want to be around that. You know? One is a downer energy. I remember I was at a friend's wedding, like me and my co-parent when we were still married. We were at a friend's wedding. We were sitting at a table, and I remember this guy was just complaining. He was complaining. Like he was a friend of my buddy too. And it took a lot just not to look at the dude and say, dude, this your friend's wedding, shut the fuck up. Because all he was doing was just complaining. Oh, women, this and that. It was like, come on, man. You know, it took a lot because it would have ruined my friend's wedding. I think that's what like stopped me. Any other time, I wouldn't have been there, or if I had to put up with it in another setting, I would have just checked him. That's how bad it was. But I said, you know what, this dude just got a jacked up mentality, and that's all it was. He had a jacked up mentality. Seeing his friend get married, but then he having a jacked up mentality about it. And that's very important to understand, though. You want to be around men who got some level of success. And now if you say, well, none of my friends are doing any good with women, you need to get new friends. Because your peer group is very important just for success in life. Not just in women, but like I said, I used the money example. You don't need to be around broke energy or unambitious men. You know? You need to be around some men who are trying to do something, who are trying to win in life, period. That's very important, all right? Very, very important. So, anyway, that's all I have for right now. I want y'all to really think about that. And you know what? I know you probably feel like, man, I don't want to roll for my buddies. You know, a sad thing in life is sometimes people are just in your life for a season. Sometimes you gotta, as we used to say, shy away from some people. It is what it is. All right, you trying to win in life. If you're not winning being around a certain group of people, you need to change groups of people. And this goes beyond getting women. This goes way beyond getting women. And if your friendship group got to be smaller because of it, well, shit, it needs to be. You're talking about winning in life. I'd rather be around maybe 2 or 3 people who are trying to win in life than around knowing 30 people who got loser mindsets. And you got to think that way. All right. So anyway, indeed, I'm gonna get into that in the next episode. That whole mindset thing. All right. So I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.